Alright. This is so Desperate Minge. Just sitting there eating wine gums.
Oh, they are fucking good though.
I like how they're not like the branded wine gums as well.
What do you mean?
Well, you get like branded wine gums.
You get ones that just like have Haribo written on them, don't you?
But these aren't them, these are like, legit. Fuck, we've got some jelly babies as well.
Other wine gums are available.
And you got cookies.
Yeah, man, I'm really set here, all for a heavy night of podcasting. I'm going to be eating non-stop all the way through this. You probably won't even be able to hear the sound of my voice over the sound of my chomping and swallowing.
Can I have
Yeah.
a jelly baby?
Go ahead, man. Right. Good. Oh, that's really good.
What?
No, that wine gum. That's just what I need.
Is that a good one?
Really, really good. I think it's gin. Orange gin.
I'm just going to say this now.
Yeah.
The way that I've made the most out of these drawers, it's so impressive.
All those drawers you're sitting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Because otherwise those would have been just enough, like, gone into a fire or something.
They would have just gone to waste, but instead I've turned them into a sofa.
Which is actually...
I mean, it was before, I don't know what happened to all of the lining of the sofa.
Oh,
So
that
it
looks
disappeared.
fun.
But it's not
Right.
too bad. Fuck.
Right, what should we talk about?
I don't know.
Is that on setting 3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Setting 3. Alright,
Brilliant.
so welcome to the Desperate Minge podcast with your host, Wizard Sleeve McGee. And
Tuna Plank.
Tuna Plank.
Tuna Plank.
Have you gone back to the Tuna Plank name?
It's interchangeable with my actual name. That's the whole thing.
Your actual name
DJ
being?
names. James.
Forsyth. Otherwise known as Tuna Plank. Due to the use of the N to the A, Planka. If you weren't sure how it was spelled.
Planka.
You're such a planker, mate. Oh, I heard something interesting the other day.
Yeah.
Shakespeare invented the word wanker.
Wanker? Yeah. And what kind of context would you use it?
I don't know, probably get the fuck off my PSP, you wanker.
Yeah.
I
mean, Julius Caesar was always very protective of his belongings, wasn't he?
Especially his PS. Don't even talk about his Nintendo DS. I heard they actually stabbed Julius Caesar because he was being a cunt about his Nintendo DS. He was like, who's taking the stylus? Give it back. And Romeo.
Yeah, and he found it like a couple of weeks later down the side of his sofa, didn't he?
Well, he was dead.
Oh, really?
Well, that's probably why he found it. He had like X-ray vision as a ghost or something.
Swallowed it.
He swallowed it. That's what killed him. He was stabbed from the inside out by his Nintendo
DS
stylus.
All his mates were there trying to cut it out of him to make sure he didn't die, and everyone thought that they just murked him.
Caesar was like, "Oh God, just get it out of me! Get it out! My stylus is in here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
Right in my style. Yeah, get a long knife.
Who was the guy that killed Julius? It was like
Mark Antony.
Mark Antony. But was his name seriously Mark? Because I'm always like really surprised by this. When do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
you
like
go
all
back
the
and
other
the name's
Romans,
like Steve. What?
Mate, and also like when you're talking about the Romans, they've always got like very Latin names, haven't they? Like Julius and
Augustus.
Yeah.
Nero.
Mark Antony.
And then you got Mark.
But that's because he wasn't Roman though, was
he?
He
Was a fucking builder.
fucking
Went back in the time machine.
Julius Caesar was like, okay, I think a few more marble temples and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you want to give Mark a call?
Yeah. Get Mark involved. With a name like Mark, there's only one profession you can do. And it's building.
Mr. Anthony.
Mr. Mark Antony.
Mr. Marcus Antonius.
You think, I often think about this, like, if I was going to go back in time, and I went back to, like, the Roman era, like, would I be able to make a success? Like, let's just say I could speak Latin. Like, what would I do? Like, what would you do if you went back there now? How would you?
I'll probably
use
be a
your
prophet.
future knowledge. It'd be a
I'll
prophet.
be a prophet and start like building wheels and things, like
I think
things
they
in
had
never,
wheels. I think the Romans
things
had
they've
wheels.
never seen before. I'll probably show them fire.
These are the Romans.
Okay, now I'll give them. I'll probably teach them how to make gunpowder.
How do you make gunpowder?
Sulfur, astroturf, and fucking saltpeter.
Salt pizza.
Saltpeter. Saltpeter, sulfur, and astroturf. That's how you make
Astroturf.
That's how you make
Fuck
fucking
You know what I do?
gunpowder.
I'd go back and I'd just like play loads of groovy tunes.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be like, you know, I'd like do the Beatles and stuff. Although they're probably not. They probably wouldn't like it.
No,
Would
it's
Julius
way
Caesar,
ahead of their time.
Would Julius Caesar like the Beatles?
I'd say no.
Why not?
But then again, I've got no idea what kind of music they were into.
What kind of music were they into back in the Roman times?
It's never really been done before. Roman music. How would we know? You know, they can't take recordings, can they?
No, but they could write it down.
They could, I guess, but
they could say like B A flat or something.
I'd say that you should go to Italy, and dig up some old tunes from the Roman times.
Have you seen? Oh fuck, what's it in? There's this show. I think it's the Peep Show, where like, oh, it's not actually a funny story.
Oh.
It's this archaeologist.
Yeah.
And he like digs up this box and he's like, oh, it's Romans, and inside it's like a VHS. And he's like, the first ever VHS, and it's like just fucking David Mitchell dancing around in a pogo. Like, what? It's good fun.
Classic Peep
Show. Do you
Show.
watch the Peep Show?
Classic Peep Show.
Do you watch the Peep Show?
No, it doesn't sound like the Peep Show.
It is the Peep Show, I think. Do you remember Little Britain?
Well, I was thinking of that Mitchell and Webb look.
Oh, that Mitchell and Webb look.
Yeah, that one over there.
It might have
do you want to see my Mitchell and Webb look?
I'll see your Mitchell and
Webb. and then Webb. No, I can't really do it very well.
The Mitchell was good.
Oh, thanks.
The Mitchell, I
put a lot more work into the Mitchell.
I don't know what is his name, because I know David
Mitchell. Robert Webb.
Oh yeah, but David Mitchell. But Mitch. Oh fuck. So no, your Webb. You said your Webb was Mitchell.
Really?
Your Mitchell, or the one you did first that you said was Mitchell, was a better Webb than it was a Mitchell.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's possibly the worst critique I've ever heard. You know, that's really made me sound quite bad.
No, but it was a good look. I think you just got the names around the wrong way.
Yeah, but like.
Do it again. Oh no, the listeners can't see it.
We shouldn't do this. No. We shouldn't make faces and shit like that, because...
No. We've got to become more professional.
Let me describe my face to you. It's gone all a bit... Webby.
Webby. You look like a spider web. I just can see fucking Spider-Man crawling over your face right now.
Oh.
What's that?
Yeah, turn your phone off, mate.
Sorry, mate.
Fucking hell.
Ah, it was that bloody girl.
Crusty son of a
bitch. We can't talk about that. There's been no gossip on the show.
No.
This is Desperate Minge.
This is Desperate Minge, the podcast.
Brought to you
in any internet-based software you currently run.
i.e.
YouTube.
But you know
other video hosting sites are available.
But we don't use them.
No, because YouTube's the best.
It is the best.
Well.
It's alright.
If you've got ad block, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. God.
I mean...
I just can't take the adverts these days. There's so many of them.
Sometimes, you know, I go onto a page and I'll be reading through it, like, starting to get interested in what it has to offer, and then I do eventually realise it's an app, but some of them get so fucking sophisticated.
I know, right? They ask you questions and stuff.
Like, is your penis too small? And I'm like, you know what? I hadn't really thought about it before, but now you mentioned it, it is bothering me.
Is it small?
Oh no, it's grotesquely large, actually.
Really? Yeah. Really? I can see it now.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite lucky because as a child, I had my right leg amputated.
Your right leg amputated.
My right leg amputated due to a kind of frostbite collision.
Frostbite collision?
No, frost bike collision. So like frosty bike. Anyway, so this is actually not in fact my leg. This is my penis.
What's that going on the end of it?
That's a prosthetic shoe.
That's a prosthetic shoe. The edge of your penis. Fucking hell.
Well, I've got to stand on it. That's the thing. It's quite.
I've never I've seen like loads of big penises before, not in person.
Okay.
But like they never really get naturally. I mean, you can have like saline injections and stuff to make them weirdly large. But like a natural penis, like I haven't seen one beyond like 9-10 inches. I mean, they kind of stop there. There's the odd like weird exception. But for vaginas, like you get a lot of like strangely big vaginas. Like there was this one woman called Grand Canyon who actually took a bald man's head and he stuck his whole head.
I think I saw that. I saw that video.
Very odd.
Yeah, really, really strange.
That's very strange.
You see, how do you know that hasn't been synthetically altered?
Because she said, and I take her word for it, she seemed like a respectable woman, other than that she had a gaping hole for a vagina.
Really?
Mm.
You see, I couldn't see a respectable woman taking a man's head up her vagina.
That's a good point. But then, can you see any woman as respectable? Just to add to the minorities that we hate. Yeah,
nuns,
women are.
Nuns, I think, are quite respectable.
Are women lungs?
No, nuns. I think a nun is a good model woman.
Can you imagine if, one day, your organs just revolted, just
had a little
climbed
riot
out your mouth?
Ended up just fucking vomiting.
I'm sick of all this fucking
organs.
nicotine.
Oh, it's fucking acid. It's everywhere.
It'd be such a riot. I'd love it.
And then your body slowly just goes inside out and comes out your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen that Simpsons episode where they turn inside out?
No.
It's fucking brilliant. It's so good. Yeah, but no. Anyway, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Most respectable podcasts, they start and they're like, let's have a topic to talk about.
Yeah.
I know in the last one we covered world knowledge.
Yeah, I remember that. No, I don't, but... okay.
But what... Should we have one for this time round?
No.
Topic?
No, fuck that.
No, we can try and stick to it.
Oh, fuck.
We can talk about,
Any structure at all and I fall apart.
I know, but at least we can, we can stop calling them Desperate Minge Podcast 1 and instead call it Desperate Minge. Talk about the fucking Haitian...
Why not just Podcast 2? That seems perfectly good to
me.
me.
We can have that.
No,
I just basically wanted to talk about...
how about we talk about...
aliens.
Aliens, yeah. I'm happy with that. I can do aliens.
Yeah, go on then. What do you know about aliens?
Oh, I know everything about aliens. Go on, ask me a question about aliens.
Okay. Are they interdimensional beings?
Some of them.
Oh, some of them.
Some of them.
So there, because I heard that aliens aren't what we think of as Martians and stuff. And fucking relevant, right? Just to add a little bit of relevancy to the show. Water on Mars, what does it mean?
Could be life.
Could be.
There's not much more than that. It could really mean, I don't think.
Does it mean anything? People are making such a big deal about it, but it's
You know what? How far have we drilled into the moon? How far have we even explored the moon? How far have we explored Mars? There's bound to be water on these planets, you know?
The moon isn't a planet.
The moon isn't a planet and there probably isn't any water there.
No.
But, you know what? We haven't... They make it seem like we know everything about these planets, right next to us. And we don't, you know?
Yeah.
We know very little.
See, I was thinking, why we live... What's that sound? Why we live on the, surface of the Earth. There's
quick sigh.
Well, there's so much space inside and stuff. Why haven't we thought that maybe, aliens live inside the moon? You know?
Yeah, well, they do. I've seen them on TV. They're called clangers.
For fuck's sake. Clangers.
Fucking brilliant.
Really?
Have you seen the clangers?
No?
Have you not seen the clangers?
No, what is the clangers?
I don't actually know when it's from. It's quite old. It's this kids' TV show. And it's these fucking kind of plushy little weird alien things and they live on the moon. And they live inside craters. And they have they put dustbin lids on the top of the craters so shit won't go in. And the sound they make, that's why they can clang. They're really cool. They build rockets and stuff. They've got huge underground complexes and shit.
Yeah, they still use dustbin lids.
They eat this blue string.
Really?
And there's a fucking dragon that makes soup.
Oh, that's quite cool.
And a baby dragon.
Yeah.
To go along with the dragon. And they have all these just really quite cool moon machines and shit. And it's really it was actually fucking such a good program. I'd forgotten about it for a while.
Oh shit, that's quite cool. But do you think aliens living inside the moon? Do you think that could actually work out? Do you think there could be aliens living in the moon?
There could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt it.
Do you think we've made contact with aliens?
I do. Yeah. No. I firmly believe that certain people in the world are in constant contact with certain alien forms of life.
I think Obama.
I don't know if it's friendly or unfriendly, but I think it must be friendly.
Otherwise, we'd fucking know about it, right?
You see, I think there are also so I think the aliens that they're in contact with are they're colluding with.
Colluding?
Yeah, to draw our resources out of the planet without having to control us.
What, the aliens want our resources?
Yeah. The aliens are slowly sucking us dry, and then eventually they'll fuck off when the planet goes to shit and all the rich people follow them.
Yeah.
And then, but there are other types of alien who are trying to warn us and shit, and there's quite a lot of, like, weird evidence.
Oh, yeah?
I was watching a video of a guy, I guess it's just him saying, but, like, fucking... I think it was Dr. Stephen Greer. I've told you about him before. Yeah. He's this really good guy, really good ufologist. No kind of he's really good at getting to the detail that you want to hear if you're thinking about it in a if you're actually trying to find the truth. So then so apparently he was driving on. Oh no, fuck that. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
What was he saying?
I was thinking about this episode of Jesse Ventura.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Was this the Skinwalkers?
Yeah, it's just like, you're driving along and then the radio goes fucking all weird and you just...
that is a cool episode though.
Yeah, I do base most of my, like, conspiracy theory stuff on Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, well, he's a safe bro and I won't have anything bad said about him. Alright? So stop right there. But who's this other guy?
Harry.
Who's this other guy then? That you were... because you were trying to...
Yeah, Dr. Stephen Gray. He's actually a good guy though.
Yeah, but you said there's loads of evidence and then you're just like, oh no, fuck that.
Yeah, no, because I was thinking about that thing from Jesse Ventura. That's not evidence. That's bullshit.
Well, so you have no point.
Yeah, pretty much.
For fuck's sake.
I told you, I based my evidence on it isn't like Jesse Ventura. I shouldn't do.
But I was like awaiting you to say something quite cool.
Dr. Stephen Gray made this film called The Sirius Project, which I recommend.
The Sirius?
The Sirius Project with an I.
The Sirius?
Sirius.
Sirius?
Yeah.
As in Sirius Black?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's how he spelled it. I don't think it's Sirius. In it, they present what they think is an alien body, like a little mummified alien body about that big. Like,
oh my!
I'm indicating about 30 centimeters here. And it's actually quite highly detailed. It's not like, oh my god, we found an alien body, like really like classic hoax shit that you find on YouTube, like coming up every day. They actually do like a proper medical examination of it and shit.
Just like that film of Ant and Dec.
And I've heard a lot. The thing is about my theories is that they're
not true.
No, there's just I put lots of information from a lot of different places. So for instance,
good cross-referencing. Yeah.
So for instance, that I backed that up by reading this interview about that was supposedly a guy talking about a crashed UFO on Earth, and he said we thought it was just a weather balloon, but then we looked inside and it had these tiny little seats.
Oh, that's odd.
About that big.
Yeah.
Shit like that makes you believe it a lot more.
It's like the Battle of Los Angeles in I think it was the 60s.
Yeah. When
there were some lights in the sky and the US military fired like thousands and thousands and thousands of missiles at it. It seemed like never reaching it. Right, and then it just was gone.
Yeah.
Right, and then the next day, all the residents were like, "What the fuck was going on?" It's really famous, and they were like, "Oh, it was a weather balloon." It's like, what? He fired like loads and loads of shit at it.
Yeah, man, that was one of these aliens trying to come and warn us, to help us. You know, aliens that weren't invited here, so they weren't in collusion with our kind of government.
But have you heard of that? There's this broadcast. I think there was some radio show. And some guy, I look like this radio show.
Yeah.
Just to mention, if anybody does have any information about aliens, please contact us at desperateminge@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's desperateminge@gmail.com.
Thank you. Or if you want to be a guest on the show, contact us again on the same email, desperateminge@gmail.com.
I'm afraid there is this small requirement that you have to be extremely famous.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking kind of Jude Law, Ian McKellen,
Oscar nominated, kind of Grammy winning.
Fucking you know, Queen Elizabeth II, that kind of level.
Well, first, if the Queen is listening,
yeah,
please get in touch.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on.
But anyway, so there was this guy, and there was this radio station, and they were like, okay, we want some callers in who know some stuff about aliens.
Yeah.
Give us a call. And so this one guy calls up, and he's like, I used to work at Area 51. Like, there's like loads of stuff going on. What we're thinking of as aliens, they're not aliens, they're like interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
They're like demons out to get us and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, oh god, they're triangulating on my position, they're triangulating. And then, boo, it goes silent, and the radio loses power. And the guy, they try to call him back, trying to get him back on the line, but they can't. And the radio show hosts are like, we're running on backup generators and stuff, something happened, we don't know what. Really, really fucking spooky and shit.
That's weird. You see, it would be quite easy to hoax someone like that.
Yeah, but why would the radio show lose power?
Why would the guy phone the radio show?
Because there was a big radio station.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I just find it weird.
Wow. It is weird, you know.
It's like, it was like the equivalent of like Radio 1, you know, so...
Yeah.
Or the equivalent of Desperate Minge Radio. From Concentrate.
Yeah, I mean, like... Is that radio? Anyway. Fuck it. Can't stand the From Concentrate.
I hate From Concentrate.
Yeah, no, so do I, but like, I don't know why I was really thinking about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, what was it we were talking about?
Aliens and shit.
Yeah, aliens. Fucking hell. So...
Okay, let me just put something by you.
Yeah.
Let me just put something by you.
Yeah.
Okay, you look out the window now, and you see this...
Yeah.
And there's a fucking grey standing at the window, and he's like, James, hello. And you're like, hello.
Yeah.
And he's like, come with us to the moon and like, you know, be our spokesperson or whatever. Would you go with the alien and live in like an alien world?
No.
Why not?
They don't have cigs, do they?
If he's like, I can give you a lifetime supply of cigs.
Oh. I'll probably ask about some other things.
Like what?
Substances.
Whiskey?
Yeah. That'll be pretty high on the list, yeah.
Have you got whiskey? Have you got cigs? I'm fucking there.
Yeah, mate. I'll take those.
What about weed? Oh, we can't mention that on the show.
I was trying to avoid it.
Yeah, but you did say substances, which is like...
Everything's a substance.
Yeah, I suppose. Except me. I actually don't exist.
Yeah, no, you're just kind of a lucid thought.
Does anything exist? Are we all dreams?
I think we have to assume that we do exist.
I find the whole colour problem like really weird. You know how like what I see as black, you may see as like grey.
Yeah.
And also how
I find that one really strange.
Yeah.
As well.
And how like
it could be negative, you know. It could be like, so it'd be like red is like blue, green is yellow or something, I think.
Yeah.
And like black is white.
Or it could just be anything. But like you try and prove it that like what I'm seeing you're also seeing, it's impossible. You just can't prove it. Try it.
Okay. What colours is this?
Black.
It's not.
What colour is it to you?
Oh, it's kind of a dark mauve.
Dark what?
Dark mauve.
That
of course it's fucking black. Yeah,
yeah, I know, but
what
like,
does black look like?
Exactly.
Well, black's easy because it's just nothing.
But like, if we try and look at the world, as what we know, like what we know it looks like,
yeah,
we can't understand. We don't know size.
There's no describing word you can use to describe a colour.
No, but not even a colour. Like we can't describe how fast things are moving, if things move, the shape or size of something. We don't know that, you know, for sure that
we can estimate.
No, but we can't trust.
The world around us is definitely nowhere near the reality that's given to our consciousness. If you see what I mean.
Well, how do you know that it's not? I mean, it could be and it couldn't be. There's just no knowing.
No, it's not. It's not.
What do you mean?
It's just not. It's not. It's not how it is.
What isn't how it is?
Just the way that you see things around you.
Why is it not how it is?
It's just like because your mind honestly it takes out certain things that you don't need to worry about.
Like what?
It makes them smaller. Yeah. Like okay, so I'm thinking about all this food, okay? Because I'm really hungry, so I can see it all. I can see it all in my vision, right? While I'm talking to you, But I'm not looking at that fucking rolling pin on the sofa. I mean, what the fuck's that doing in there? I've got no business with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
But it is there when you look at it.
Yeah, it is, because I looked around looking for something to talk about. Yeah? Okay, but when I'm talking to you, I don't see it.
That's just focus. This is what you're focusing on. I'm talking more broadly.
Okay, no, I'm not talking like that. But like your brain does like take out certain things that you could see and like put stuff in seamlessly, and you don't even notice. You know,
it's like Sherlock. You know Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch when he's like looking around and he sees absolutely everything because like, he's like it's like switched on. Yeah. He's like a safe guy.
Yeah, I'd love to switch my brain on at some point.
I don't know if that would be like a hindrance or.
Well, I'm assuming if you can switch it on, then you can switch it off.
Yeah, I suppose.
You'd assume there'd be some kind of switch involved.
Yeah. Sometimes I do wish there was like.
I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch actually has like a proper light switch just at the back of his neck.
To switch on, he's like a fucking cyborg. He was what RoboCop was based on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, well, I was quite lucky because when I was young, my parents did this install one into my head, just behind my ear.
Let's see. So if I just...
No, unfortunately... Well, the thing is, it's one of these variable ones, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The little
like
round thing.
Yeah.
So, like... And it's jammed at about 2%. So,
of course.
Can't do anything about it. Took it to a locksmith. He was like, I don't
do locks.
I don't do lights. Took it to an electrician. Yeah. He said, that's connected to your brain, mate. I don't think I can help.
Did you take it to the cobblers?
I didn't take it to the cobblers, but I did take it to the opticians.
Yeah, and what did they say?
They said no. They didn't even look at me.
Were they just like...
No, they were blind. They couldn't see me, actually. Wouldn't see me.
What opticians did you take it to?
Specsavers.
Fucking Specsavers.
They're such cunts.
I hate Specsavers.
Yeah, man.
I find it weird as well that like you can't get glasses on the NHS.
Yeah, when you can get like braces.
Can you get braces on the NHS?
I think so.
I once had to have braces.
Me too.
But I had the like retainers, like the big chunky blocky.
Yeah, no. I had a retainer for a little bit when I was about 7 or 8. Oh, yeah? It was a really small one. It's literally just like behind my upper teeth, and I didn't have a bottom one.
Yeah.
But then I had to have a proper brace when I was 13, 14.
But like that sounds shit. But like when you think back to like the 60s of what they were doing, like fucking sticking the pliers in fucking people's mouths, and just fuck like that.
Fucking fixing a piece of wire to your tooth and like draping it over your head.
There's like those fucking headsets that people used to have just to like fix their teeth. Is it that much of an issue? I know, right?
No, but the thing is, you wouldn't think they'd need that. You know, you wouldn't think they're worth it. But if they hadn't invented that, we wouldn't be where we are now in terms of dentistry. Yeah. That's just the first step. You know, that was the first step in the evolution of our teeth care.
What I find interesting as well is like back when you think to the Industrial Revolution, like people were like, oh, we've built everything that needs to be built, like everything's been done, there's nothing left to do.
Yeah.
But obviously there was, like we made Wi-Fi and like spaceships and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think is going to happen like with technological advances in the next 50 years?
Well, I'm hoping that they're going to disclose all the avionics technology that they've had.
Oh, the anti-gravity stuff.
Shit like that.
Do you think it's like legit, though? Do you think that's really going on?
Yeah, I do.
To the level...
Yeah, because I've looked at the science behind it, and to me, I mean, I'm not a physicist, but to me it looks legit.
But why would they not... I mean, the key thing there is obviously I'm not a physicist, but why would they not disclose
I mean,
that?
You have to just trust me here. I'm the scientist.
But why would they not tell people? Why would they not be like, you know, we've got this plane?
Oh, because it's just because it's part of the so-called shadow government in America. You know, the compartmentalized sections of, you know, the kind of intelligence agencies and Homeland Security or shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're not allowed to talk about what they're working on to anyone, like really strictly. And they don't know what other people in the department are working on. That's how it's compartmentalized. You just don't talk about it to anyone at all.
But yeah, I know. Obviously,
and let me finish here.
Okay.
And fucking, I've lost my train of thought.
Well, obviously, this is why I was going to say that.
Yeah, well, you did interrupt me there.
Sorry, mate. I believe in compartmentalization, but I just don't see like why.
Because it can't. Okay, so let's take the TR3B.
Yeah.
Okay, the flying black triangle, it uses a rotating plasma to decrease its weight.
Yeah.
Okay, an estimate is that those, I don't know where the figure came from actually, but they say that those cost about $1 billion each.
What the, oh fuck, alright.
Yeah, so in order, they wouldn't be able to justify spending on that much on one plane for defense, you know.
Fair enough.
They just wouldn't, so they just keep it a secret.
See, you know how they say, all of this stuff is disclosed, like disclosed, the defence budget and everything.
Yeah. They don't disclose that shit. They have, like, black project funds, and there's so much money they get for
Really, because I was thinking, like, if you have a look at the defence budget,
yeah,
and then you try and add up everything that they say it's spent on, you can then see, like, well, what's happened to this $2 billion?
No, because they state it in their budget, but they just say black project. They don't disclose what they're for, what the money's actually going to. They just say, this is all secret. You can't tell you.
Oh, it's so big. If you're paying for it, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like.
But then, in a way, it's maybe it's a good thing. But I mean, what's the alternative? Because obviously, you have to have these scientific breakthroughs, and you have to have people working on these things.
Yeah.
But the alternative to having it done secretly by government is having it privatized. And then if some private company has, anti-gravity technology, or they just have too much power, what would you really want a private company having that kind of stuff?
See, the thing is with me is that I'm just for openness. So you see, I wouldn't care about that, to be honest. I'd just say, look, from the start, it should have been common knowledge to scientists and whatnot. And that way, there's been groundbreaking technology come out in the past, but it's always been,
like microwaves.
Yeah, people could have been blowing themselves up with those.
Yeah. I also find it strange.
Could have been an early terrorist weapon, but everyone's like, didn't.
But there are so many really high-ranking government officials that are pushing for disclosure about aliens and stuff. Yeah. So it just makes me think if surely these guys know something to be pushing so hard for it.
Yeah. The guy who helped out with the transition from the Bush to the Obama administration in America.
Yeah, this is the guy I was talking about.
Oh, really? Yeah. So he when he on his last day, he did this Twitter post, 40 Twitter posts or something, listing his regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number one was not achieving full disclosure about UFOs and aliens.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're obviously hiding something.
Yeah, of course.
So it's just
why wouldn't they disclose that?
Well,
is it just because they think people would freak out?
Yeah, the thing is, there was a document back in the what was it, 40s, 50s, that said that it was a investigation into the possibility of UFOs and aliens and what their effect could be on the public. Yeah. And and in the conclusion, it said it might be best in the climate of the Earth, of the US. What if contact is achieved to keep it from the public, to maintain order?
I've heard about this actually. Yeah,
it's a bit weird considering it looks like they haven't done that.
They've put in the necessary groundwork. Yeah.
So what I think is that was the original reasoning behind it, but I think it's become so involved with all these, with all this military influence. They can't they can't disclose it because they'd have to disclose everything.
Yeah. Also, I just think religion is still such a big part of people's lives, and if you then
that was I think that was the kind of main problem with it back when they first started thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because religion was a lot more of an influence.
Me personally is I suppose you could call me a Christian, but what would that?
Call you a Christian.
What would that mean for God and stuff if aliens turned up to exist?
You see,
it doesn't mean anything.
In my opinion, God, it wouldn't change a thing.
No, me either.
It's just I think apparently a lot of people think it will explain that there isn't any God.
Yeah, but I just don't get it. Nowhere in the Bible or any of the I haven't read the other ones.
It's just from people coming thinking of God as this 3-dimensional being.
Yeah, and also just thinking that I mean, he never specifies that we're the only ones. He just never says that.
So most people can't wrap their heads around the idea of a higher power in the same way that we do, for instance.
Yeah.
Because they haven't done psychedelic drugs.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I just want to say I haven't done psychedelic drugs to anyone listening. Actually. I've never done... Oh, fuck yeah, I have. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Shut up, James. I haven't done it. Well, also, like the Mayans and stuff, and like the Mayan calendars and all the like wall work and stuff where they've got like people in what look like spaceships with space helmets on and whatnot. What do you make of that? Do you think that's like wall work? No, the wall that works. You know, the art on the wall. All the Mayan shit in wall works.
Yeah, no, I have no idea because that stuff could be so easily faked.
Faked?
Well, yeah, like wait. I'm thinking about like cave paintings with like drawings of fucking UFOs.
Yeah, like in Prometheus.
Because they could be faked. They were faked in Prometheus. But there's a lot of weird art out there with like aliens
from like ancient Egypt and stuff.
Yeah, there's height as well.
I mean, mate, even just the pyramids. Like, I know it's been discussed like so much, and it's like so conformist now.
Yeah,
to talk about it. But like,
yeah,
there's too many cigarettes in there. But I know I don't even. I know. Fucking evil. In the music break, I'm going to empty that out. It has to be done. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even that, like the way it perfectly aligns up with like Orion's belt or whatever it is, and like so many different. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah,
like that's weird.
And I watched this really interesting documentary about a new theory of how it could have been built, right?
Oh yeah.
And the engineering that goes into it, because basically, so the theory at the moment is that it's built with a ramp.
Yeah.
And they gradually build it up, like from top to bottom. Either that, or the other theory is that they built a huge ramp next to it, going all the way to the top.
Yeah.
As they were building it, and then took that away.
Yeah.
And there's problems with both of them for reasons I won't go into.
I'll go into.
Oh yeah. You really want to hear them?
I want to hear it.
Okay, why the fuck would they build a giant ramp right next to it? That would take just as it would double the time it took to build it, and then it take another third or something to get rid of the ramp again.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I guess. But like, thing is that so the one about what they found in this documentary was that there was a tunnel going up in a spiral around the edge of the pyramid, and they went up to one of the ones and they had a bit of bricks missing, and like looked in, and you could like see this tunnel.
Yeah.
So they think that they had rails going up inside the pyramid as they were building it.
Oh, so they built from the inside out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like exactly, and so they use these rails as well as a giant pulley system. The Grand Gallery. Yeah. So they had a giant weight in there, and that's why it's so big. It had all these rails and things that just kind of, and it went down as the Grand Gallery does, and pulled up these these giant blocks.
Yeah.
It's really it's good. I mean, it's quite hard to visualize.
Yeah.
And what they do is they have these really, clever CGI interpretations of it, and so it's a good documentary.
Yeah, I might check it out.
But like, it's just how
so
would
complex,
they know? They didn't have the wheel, did they?
Yes, I think they might have. But I mean, the thing is, like, when people think about these documentaries and stuff, I think they also forget that it's 2015 now. Yeah. Like, we've had a lot of time to think about like how this may have been built. Yeah. But I mean, these people, this was ancient civilizations.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, were they smart enough to come up with those kind of things?
And getting perfectly aligned with the stars, as you were saying.
How the fuck do they do that? With something so massive.
Yeah.
Like, perfectly aligned.
And have you seen those videos about like how the edges, the edges, the four edges. Yeah. They align more perfectly than anyone would have thought was possible for that time. Like, they're straight.
Yeah.
They're straight. They're straighter than people would have thought they could be.
Also, they are apparently like dead center of the the Earth is like a ball or something, or an oval. I think it's like they're the center of the world, like right in the middle
on the equator.
Yeah, like perfectly.
That would make sense actually.
It's like really strange. Yeah,
because is Egypt's on the equator, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really, really odd.
That is really weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
because there's been a few other like reported sightings about underwater pyramids and pyramids on the moon,
like the fucking Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, like the pyramid. What is it?
Crystal
How
pyramid.
many were there? Well, it's just one.
Yeah, but you saw about that.
Yeah,
the
crystal pyramid at the bottom of the Bermuda
Triangle. And the
Triangle.
guy brought up like a massive crystal from it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like.
And it's like all this stuff. Have you done any reading or any research into the Bermuda Triangle?
No, not much.
Fucking weird. I've got a few books upstairs. They're fucking amazing. But that is so strange. Like, genuinely strange. Really weird.
I always kind of thought it was just like, ships and planes that went missing in a particular patch were just attributed to this Bermuda Triangle thing. But I didn't think it was anything real.
I think there's still like 50 or something planes and boats going missing every year in the Bermuda Triangle,
really? But
they just sweep it under the rug. Yeah, it's like constant. It's constant. And have you heard of the bloop or something?
No.
You know how you have like the wow signal for aliens?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's like there's like a NASA for space or something, and there's like a national underwater something like the equivalent but for underwater.
Yeah. And
they recorded something which was like the wow signal, but it was called the bloop. And it was like this massive, because they've got microphones in the sea.
Yeah.
And it was like this massive sound that was recorded underwater.
Really?
And it was like the loudest mammal in the world is like some sperm whale or something. And it was like 10 times louder than that.
Really?
It was like massive, and it came from the Bermuda Triangle. Really fucking odd. And then, who was it as well? I think it was like Plato or Socrates or Aristotle, one of them, who said that Atlantis was at the place that the Bermuda Triangle was as well. Like, really fucking strange.
That's really weird.
Yeah, really weird.
We should go. We should hire out like
a little sub. And there's that like North Sea anomaly. You heard of that as well?
Really?
The thing in the Baltic Sea that looks like the Millennium Falcon.
No, I haven't heard of that.
It's really weird, and like as you get closer to it, like all of your electrics go down. It's like an EMP. Really fucking strange. But they've got like X-rays of it, and it genuinely looks like the Millennium Falcon with like a, like when something crashes and it's got that little like.
Yeah.
It's got that behind it as well.
That's
fucking
so
odd.
strange.
Yeah.
I mean, we know like hardly anything about like the bottom of our oceans.
I know.
Like, the giant squid only discovered for real in 2008.
Really odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck's down there?
Yeah, exactly.
Or inside the Earth. Have you heard Hollow Earth theory?
I have heard of the Hollow Earth theory.
Should we talk about it when we come back from the music break?
It's absolute bullshit.
We'll have a music break. We'll have a think. We'll calm down. We'll come back with
the next section is going to entail me constantly saying bullshit.
Oh fuck! But I love the Hollow Earth theory. It's so much fun.
Okay, we'll debate it.
All right, I'm gonna fucking knock your socks off with some good fucking knowledge.
Yeah. Remember the time, baby. Yeah. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no car to take you on a date. I can't even buy you flowers. But together we be the perfect soulmates. Talk to me, girl.
Oh, baby, it's alright with you. Ain't got flaws for me. If we go, but you can still touch my love. It's free. We can work without the books, just you and me. Hug it out till we get it right. Baby, if it's true, we get together like it just remain.
Nobody's stronger than you, and you handle me the way.
I don't need the cheese and I can't get for you like
your house, I rent a room in the house. Listen, baby girl, I ain't got a motorboat, but I can float your boat. So listen, baby girl, once you get a dose of dough, you gon' want some more. So listen, baby girl, when I make it, I want you there. I want you there, yeah.
Okay, because humans... Oh, we're back.
Humans are back.
Oh, fucking hell.
Desperate Minge is here to save the day. It's all good.
Okay, so I feel like there is only so far we can go with the name Desperate Minge. We're like constantly limiting ourselves.
Yeah, just every turn, like, oh, hi, so you're a radio station, right? And we're like, yeah. What's your name? Oh, Desperate Minge. Like, right.
Exactly. But anyway.
Yeah, we can just sell out in a bit. It's all good.
We'll just change it to like Desperate Mind, like you said, Silent G.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Or Desperate Mind.
That's weird.
What?
Well. Anyway, so what the fuck was I going to say? I was saying...
You like a biscuit?
No.
Okay. They've got gooey insides.
Basically...
Maryland gooeys.
Fuck, what? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I don't want it. That sound.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck, what was I saying?
Sound of a hollow brain.
We were having such a good chat before.
Hollow mind.
We were going to talk about Hollow Earth.
That's our name if we have to set out. Hollow Mind.
Hollow Mind, yeah. I fucking love it. No, but, so if the universe is contracting,
yeah,
and it is going to come in this way, right? Then we can leave it. But it's like humans can only imagine what we've experienced, and everything in the universe, takes up 3 dimensions: a temporal dimension and like a space and a whatever.
There's only 4 dimensions.
Whatever.
Okay.
It takes up space, right?
Yeah, 3 spatial, 1 temporal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside of the universe, there's either every dimension, like loads of them, or none at all. I mean, it's impossible to imagine that.
Yeah, I mean...
But scientifically, is it possible? Is it possible for 3-dimensional beings to leave our space? Because I don't see why not. But
yeah, you see, I would expect our brains to adapt our surroundings into 3 dimensions, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, we can theorise things about...
We already do that, didn't we?
Yeah, but it is in 3 dimensions. Isn't it?
Is time a dimension? Gravity is a dimension? I mean...
Yeah, they could be. I mean, I'm not sure about gravity, but time is. But it's a different type of dimension. So, like, we can imagine a 4th spatial dimension in a number of ways. Okay, so if you had, how the first 3 dimensions, you have a line, and then you turn 90 degrees to it.
Yeah.
You get a plane. 90 degrees, you get a cube.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine another line that's 90 degrees to all of them, all 3 of them. That's the 4th spatial dimension.
Yeah, Tesseract.
Yeah, well, that's a hypercube. That's a 4th dimensional cube.
Hypercube. Why is it there? Who built it? I don't know. Hopelessness. Good horror movie.
Yes, there's other ways as well. So you can think about a sphere, okay, a 3-dimensional circle. If you just say you can pass it through a piece of paper, okay, as you're passing it through. If you're a little 2-dimensional person on the piece of paper, you would see a circle that would grow and grow and grow and then shrink and shrink and shrink. You'd see the 2-dimensional version of that sphere appearing in space and then getting bigger and smaller. There's a whole really good book about these kind of things actually called 2D Land. It's just like saying it's just like applying these kind of things to two-dimensional worlds and how they'd appear in 3 dimensions or whatever.
Yeah.
And so how you think it would appear in 4 dimensions. But if you think about a 4-dimensional sphere, it would, to us, if it passed through our dimension, it would look like a sphere growing in the air and then disappearing.
Yeah.
And growing and then shrinking and disappearing again.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
So it kind of makes me. I'm just saying, you can't even begin to imagine what life would be like outside of the universe.
No, of course you can't. It's not. We don't have that part of our brains.
I know. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, because
it's weird.
And that's why I think if we went out into the universe and saw, let's say, a 5-dimensional cube,
we'd just see it in 3D. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because our brains wouldn't be able to process it.
Yeah, I agree. Weird.
Really strange though. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. It also makes me think, like, what would life be if it was, like, if you were God? Like, what is life like? Let's just humour ourselves and say that God exists.
Yeah.
Cheeky bastards. And he's timeless and spaceless and, like, metaphysical. What the fuck is life like? Like, how is he? Because some people have, like, such a problem thinking that, so they think of God as, like, a conscious entity.
Yeah.
And in a way he is, because he makes decisions and stuff. But how would he operate outside of time and stuff? Would he not get bored? You know, I don't understand.
Well, as I was just saying, you don't have the part of your brain that you need to understand.
But then is that not so fucking evil of God to, like, try and have us live our whole life trying to understand him and get close to him when it's really impossible for us to do so?
Yeah, but that's kind of the whole point of him, isn't it?
Or being an evil prick.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's the kind of view I got out of the Bible. But the thing is about God, so he transcends time, which means for him, all time happens at the same time. At the same time, you know. So it's not like I don't think it'd even be possible for him to be bored.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that passing of time in which he's got nothing to do.
Because he's always doing something, but he's always doing nothing. Same time.
Yeah.
It's just impossible for us to understand.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I remember fucking.
God.
No. When I was a kid, and like people were like, "Oh, God is everywhere."
Yeah.
I was just like looked around to see if I could see him. So I was like, "Is he one of these blokes?"
Yeah.
I always thought he was like just some invisible man walking around looking at me. You're God.
Well, apparently.
Ah, fair. Yeah. I mean. So now my idea of him is kind of, it's like
my idea
perfection, but
it's just
which isn't something that's possible in this.
I just like to think of him as like some guiding force that's like fueled by love. Right. It's just something that if you just like ask the universe for something and then maybe it'll come to pass, you know. It's just like the force that like drives things.
Okay,
it's like with life. Like I have this like really weird problem where if I'm thinking about someone that's dead, like let's say someone
Princess Diana
had a heart attack, and their heart's fucked up, right? And then you give them a new heart and you put loads of blood in them and you like get the brain all working and stuff. Yeah. Like there's still like that spark missing, like that lifeness, you know? Yeah. It's like, why? Like, what is it? Well, I just don't get it.
You know what you were saying the other day about that weight that leaves you. Yeah. When you die.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
That's really strange, you know.
Shall I explain it for the listener?
Yeah, go on.
So, there were some guys that were studying like death and what happens and the changes between life and death, whatever. And they had some people that of course agreed to be a part of the experiment that were measured with like everything as they were dying, and they found, and it's not because they took a shit or anything, because you do shit yourself when you die. It's not that. As like the second they died, they lost weight, and apparently that's the soul leaving the body.
So they weighed the shit as well, did they?
I'm guessing they took the shit into account, yeah, and the methane and whatnot. But it was like a sizable amount of weight, like it was
shit. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and you know what? Okay, my imagination of it is that, you know, you have a soul, which is the thing that kind of it's somewhere in your brain. I think it has to be, or maybe it's just all over your nervous system, and in your brain, it pushes it like it's the thing that it is the charge.
Yeah.
You know, moving through your neurons, and it goes through the map of them in your brain in accordance to how to like for you to be conscious and stuff. But you know, it is that kind of you know, pushing instructions for your body to, you know, raise your hand or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, I see it as that. Then I see everything as that. I mean, it's like when you boil everything down, like when you
sorry.
Like when you cut like a cell, I mean, when you really go to like just the bare essentials of everything, like the things that make up it is just energy. It's just force and stuff. So I mean, is it really that unreasonable to say that maybe God is just that, just energy and just force? And if you try and communicate, like on some level, it's like with this Japanese guy, right? He was some like wacky physicist or something, and he did these experiments with water, right? Where he would like take, you know, he had one glass of water and he had another glass of water, and with one of them he played like, you know, classical music to really beautiful stuff, some Ludovico.
Yeah, I heard about
You heard about this, and the other one he would play like some death metal too.
Yeah.
And like when he froze them, like the patterns, when he looked at their cellular structure or whatever, like the patterns in the
cellular
classical
structure of water. Yeah.
I don't know this shit.
Okay.
But yeah, he looked at them under a microscope, whatever. And that classical one had beautiful music, and he did the same with like Jesus, and he like wrote Jesus on one and like Satan on another, and the Jesus one had like a good makeup or whatever, and like a beautiful crystalline structure.
That is really strange.
Really strange, but like it's really well documented, and apparently it works. I know Sophia, our friend Sophia. Yeah, we should genuinely try it now.
Go and get a cup. Go and get a cup of water.
I will after.
Don't use a glass though,
because they can't see it, and we'll like put up a little experiment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really weird, and that is just energy. It's like when I think his reasoning for it was because everything is vibrations, right? Everything's vibrating at the same time.
Frequency.
Yeah, and when you're happy or something, you're like the chemicals that are released or whatever vibrate at a certain frequency, and when you're sad, those chemicals vibrate at a certain frequency. But the vibrations resonate they go through your skin, through your mind, through the air, into the water. Yeah. Right. So those positive ones vibrate
through recorded music.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And everything is just vibration.
Well, yeah, actually, that makes sense. Because so think about in music. Think about scales. You got your major scale and your minor scale.
Yeah.
Now, notes are just frequencies. Yeah. You know, so you got your major scale, all these like happy, well, not happy, but you know, okay, well, the minor scale doesn't sound as nice. You know, it's like it's sadder. It's like the sad scale and the happy scale. Yeah. And so yeah, it makes sense if if the water was actually tuned to the same scale.
And what I'm basically saying is I think maybe this is why. A lot of people say, you know, positivity breeds positivity and stuff. If you think positively, you'll find more positivity. Yeah. Right? It's just because if you're thinking positively, you're vibrating, right, at a positive frequency. Yeah. And that goes out into the world, right? Yeah, and things, you put more positivity in the world, so then when you look for the positivity in the world, there's more to find. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess there is some, like, scientific ground to it. Probably in like a really loose way, but like, you know, it could work. And like, if God is like if he's just meant to be, I mean, he's described in the Bible as like being just a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, you know, then maybe he's just a happy vibration. I mean, what I'm trying to say is maybe God is just
vibrations. Beethoven. Wow, it's quite prolific. Yeah. You know, vibrations are really weird things. Actually. Yeah. Because have you heard of Tesla's earthquake machine?
Yes.
So it's a machine. It's basically just something that, you know, that vibrates. A big box that vibrates. And what you do is you fix it to a building or something, a structure. And if you set it to the right frequency for that structure, it will make it. It would destroy its structural integrity. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, it won't destroy it, but it'll make it oscillate really like a lot. So they did it. I think it was MythBusters did it with a railway bridge. Actually, they built his machine and put it on a big cast iron bridge.
Yeah,
and then when they switched it on and found the right frequency, the bridge actually it wasn't a railway bridge. It was like a what they called tension bridge.
Yeah.
And it started,
like
waving about.
London, right?
Yeah, it was like started twisting and waving about. You know, it had like waves going through it.
Like in Harry Potter.
Yeah, in Harry Potter, like exactly like that.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, really odd, isn't it?
Yeah, just because they'd found the right frequency for the iron.
Vibrations.
Yeah, man.
Energy.
Totally.
Really weird. And that's why I like. I think it's Buddhism, or it might have been Hinduism. One of them, but they. I think it was like thousands and thousands. I mean, obviously, I think it's Hinduism actually.
Yeah.
Hinduism, of course, is like thousands and thousands of years old.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a lot of this shit. I'll talk about something in the Bible afterwards.
Yeah.
But Hinduism's so old, and they started their belief by saying that there is energy flowing through everything that they had some like wacky Indian name for, and they worship that as God. Right? Now, how could they know that thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago?
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, and it's like scientific sound.
It's because we do have this kind of intuitive sense of the way things are,
It's because we are part of it.
Yeah, but but we honestly don't. We're really bad at kind of listening to to our intuitions.
Yeah,
because people don't think of them as logical. They think of them as just.
What would be like really interesting? Because I know, when you're like a Buddha or something, and you sit down and meditate for ages, and you're supposed to come to enlightenment.
Yeah.
Right. If there's,
it's a little bit more complicated than that, but okay.
Yeah, but enlightenment is meant to be like this great understanding, right?
Yeah.
And if you can tap into like your brain waves. Have such control over your brain to the point where like you can actually feel like the energy that flows through everything in your mind. That could be enlightenment, That's why maybe meditation is like such an incredible thing.
Yeah, it sounds very, very plausible,
Yeah, it is a bit like pseudoscience, but it's based in real shit. What's that? There's this quote in Mama, which is like. It's only the ability to accept a different reality which allows science to expand beyond the limits of what we know. Yeah. Which I think is just fucking incredible.
You see,
so good.
We're locked in the ways of thinking that we have been for forever, in 3 dimensions. Not even just 3 dimensions, it's thinking about matter.
Yeah.
Is the main one. So no one considers that God could be the vibrating energy and everything, things like that. No one even comes close to like thinking about it because they're still stuck in the idea that he's a person or he's a thing.
Yeah,
I wondered, could God be luck?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a good like conundrum about this, right? So, so two soldiers who are in a medieval fight, let's say, medieval battle. And they go in, and it's the same scenario in each one, except in one of them, their attacker's spear is a little bit longer, so he gets killed. Yeah, just by luck.
Yeah.
Does God affect that?
In what way would he affect that? Like, what do you mean?
Well, the chances that he'd die.
Right.
The
surely that's just like free will that the attacker like just decided he liked the longer spear.
Yeah, but is God intrinsic in that process of him, choosing a longer spear so that he would kill the other guy? Isn't
that just like, do we really have free will? Isn't it that?
Yeah, question? I wouldn't like to think it's that. Yeah, I'd like to think that God is less powerful.
Well, there's a way around that. Because people for ages have been saying. How can God have prophecies, right? Mm-hmm. If we have free will,
yeah.
How can He have a plan for us, or how can there be destiny? But there's this one, sect of Christianity, I think, called Molinism, which basically says that God changes his, because he's timeless.
Yeah.
Right. Oh God, it's so weird. We make our own choices, but like the second we make a choice, he goes back and like rewrites his knowledge, so he already knew it or something, because he's timeless and he exists outside of all these events and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't explain it well enough, but you'll have to go and check it out.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
It's really weird because like destiny and free will, that kind of works out. It's really, really strange.
Yeah. Smart stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
it's been a nice chat.
God, it's been a fucking long one.
Yeah, it has actually.
Been a good
My jaw feels tired.
I know, so does my
tongue has
cock.
gone numb, and my teeth are all falling out.
Should we leave on a final song? I think we should.
I always think it's good to leave on a final song myself.
What song? Have you got anything in mind?
The theme tune from The Archers.
Alright, we'll do that.
Okay,
And we'll see you next time.
See you next
I don't know
time.
when that's going to be.
Desperate Minge Radio podcast.
Desperate Minge Radio podcast incorporated in and yeah, if anyone wants to, of course, contact us on Desperate Minge. If you're one
Wake up, you sleepyhead. Put on some clothes, shake up your bed. Put another log on the fire for me. I made some breakfast and coffee. Look out my window, what do I see? Crack in the sky and a hand reaching down to me. All the nightmares came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. What are we coming to? No room for me, no fun for you. I think about a world to come, where the books were found by the golden ones, written in pain, written it all by a puzzle man who questioned what we were here for. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Let me make it plain, gotta make way for the whole superior. Look out at your children, see their faces in golden rays. Don't kid yourself, they belong to you. They're the start of the coming race. The author's a bitch, we finished our news. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here